Welcome back to Casual Bias Rugby, round 18 of the URC, the final round of the URC. Absolutely massive week, literally for all teams. Even though there's not that many spots to play for still, it's still so close. Like up until from 6th till 11th, that all of those teams can still qualify. Obviously, I think there's only two positions to play for, which makes it a bit tighter, which makes it almost even better. Going down to the last weekend, we all wanted to see that. No one likes a real runaway. Top of the top place still to play for. We know who the top 4 is. Obviously, the Stormers, who are in 5th, they can't go into the top 4 anymore. So top 4 still to play for. Who's going to rank the highest? Obviously, the Munster and the Bulls want to secure top spot, but they know if they drop points, Leinster's on their tail. Right, so if Leinster get a win and one of those drop points, it will be absolutely massive for Leinster. So without any further ado, if you do like the channel, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. This is a community built on pure fan perspectives. We just enjoy the game for what it is. No real analytical analysis or whatever like that, covering all types of rugby from South Africa to Ireland to Scotland to even New Zealand, Australia and America. That's the whole basis of the channel. So we do appreciate all your love and support on the channel. So starting off this weekend, an absolute belter, Irish derby. We've got Leinster versus Connacht. Obviously Leinster coming off 2 losses now with Ulster and then Toulouse. Obviously they didn't play their strongest team against Ulster because they were preparing for that final, but I'm pretty sure they kind of thought they would still get over the line against Ulster. And then I mean, they wouldn't take a massive confidence knock in that game against Toulouse. I don't think they'll even feel their strongest team for this Connacht game. Give their boys once again a rest before they play all of the knockout games in the URC. Now, obviously, Connacht, they know everything still to play for them. If they get an upset victory, if they get a win, they kind of need 5 points, right? But if I was Connacht, I would probably make peace with the fact that you haven't made it, because either Edinburgh or Benetton's winning, and then it's just one spot really to play for. So Connacht will go for it. I still think Leinster will get it over the line. They didn't take too much. They won't lose too much confidence over that loss against Toulouse. They'll put their mind to it and say, listen, we can't go 3 years without a trophy. I think it's 3 years that they haven't gone without a trophy now. Or they have gone without a trophy. They'll focus on the URC and get this job done. So I'm going with Leinster to win this game by about 9 points. Next up, we've got Glasgow versus Zebre. And, I mean, Glasgow secures their spot. They'll probably get the 5 points as well. So they'll end on 65 points, which means any teams above them that drop points, they surpass them. So it's a massive weekend for the top 4 in terms of positions played, because you want to obviously get as much home games as you physically can. So Glasgow to win this game. And then we go off to an absolutely massive game. Stormers versus the Lions. And I always say this, I do make these predictions without looking at the teams. I have not seen any team sheets as of yet. I don't even think they're out yet. Stormers to take on the Lions in Cape Town. It's going to be windy. It's going to be rainy. I don't know if you can hear it now, but it's rainy out here in Cape Town at the moment. The Lions know this is an absolutely massive game for them. Stormers, they would know this is a massive game for them as well. They want to place as high as possible. They don't want to go into the quarter. We don't want to go into the quarterfinals as possibly going up against the likes of the Bulls, Munster. Well, I'm saying Bulls, Munster, or Leinster, but the more I say it, it doesn't really matter, because we either play one of the 3 or Glasgow if we place 5th and all the other teams win. So, I mean, it's tough. I'd still, if I was the Stormers, play a full strength team. The Lions are on a run. Get some confidence from this game. Obviously, our performances haven't been really up to standard, while the Lions have been on scintillating form. They've played some scintillating rugby. So getting a win over the Lions would be absolutely massive. Now, on the Lions end, they are 9th at the moment. Obviously, their points difference is better than the other teams that are also on 49, but they're still in 9th because they don't have the bonus points. They don't have the wins above those teams. So that is absolutely massive. If the Lions can at least get 1 or 2 points from this game, they would feel pretty confident that they could still go through. Obviously, I just mentioned the game afterwards, Benetton versus Edinburgh, is probably the most important game for all the teams involved, because they just need a win, and the team that loses gives an opening for the Lions to come in, obviously. So that is absolutely massive for the Lions to get as much points as possible. I think this is even though it's windy, both teams know they will try and get as much points, so they'll both go for the 4 tries. I do see this as a close game as well. I didn't even give a prediction for the Glasgow game. Glasgow by 25 points. Stormers and Lions. I'm going Stormers to still get it done, but not by much. I think it's a close game. Lions stay in the fight. They get 2 points from this game. I'm going with a high-scoring, windy game, 25 points to 20. I think that will be the end score. Can't write off the Lions. Just look at the performance they put up against Glasgow, which was absolutely insane. And now moving on to the absolutely massive game, Benetton versus Edinburgh. I mean, this feels tough to predict because we know how good Benetton is at home. Usually I just predict Benetton to win this game because they are at home. But if you look at the performance that Edinburgh put up against Munster, a full-strength Munster team, everything to play for. It's such a beautiful storyline for Benetton, and I can't see them being in 4th position and then dropping out of the top 8. But yet it's Edinburgh's almost heritage to be in the top 8. So I'm going with Edinburgh to sneak over the line. I think this is a close game. 2 points in it either way. I'm going with Edinburgh to edge it, just because they have the names, they have the players. I just get a feeling that they know how to do it, and they'll take confidence from that Munster game. They did themselves a massive favour in that Munster game by not getting smashed. They will take confidence from that one. So I'm going with Edinburgh to sneak over the line by 2 points, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it. Don't put your money on it. I don't know. It's so close. Next up, we have one of the Judgment Day games. We've got Scarlets versus the Dragons. Scarlets should get this one pretty easily done. They've looked a lot better than they have at the start of the season. Dragons, woeful. I think they're 1 point. 1 point above Zebre. So Scarlets should get this one done. Sharks versus Bulls. Absolutely massive game. Massive game, right? Like not in terms of the table necessarily, but this is a South African derby. The people will be up for it. The Sharks just coming off winning a trophy. They won't play their full strength team, and the Bulls will win this game. But it could always be like a slippery game because it is a derby. But the Sharks won't play their strongest team. Their boys are probably still drunk after making rugby heritage for South African rugby. So I'm going with the Bulls to win this one pretty comfortably, but I think it will be a great game. Very physical. You know, these guys like putting in a big hit. So I'm going with the Bulls to win this game by 16 points. They'll want to secure at least 2nd place. So if they get their 4 to 5 points from this game, they should be fine there, getting at least 2 home playoff games, which would be massive for them. And then we've got another Irish derby. Another massive one, kind of almost the same story as Leinster versus Connacht, Munster versus Ulster, but this one has more to play for. Munster trying to secure that top spot. If you get a guaranteed home final for Munster, that would be absolutely massive, especially as defending champions. While Ulster, on the other hand, they are on 53 points. So obviously, a couple of teams can sneak past them. We might even see a rematch in the quarterfinals of Munster versus Ulster. And once again at Munster's home field. But Ulster will try and give themselves everything in their favour to actually, play the easier teams, if I can say it like that, compared to playing against Munster. But then again, do you fancy yourself more when you know it's a derby? Would the Stormers fancy playing the Bulls more than, let's say, playing Glasgow abroad? I don't know. It's something to think about. I didn't really think about it until now. So I'm going with Munster to get the win. Obviously, Ulster will take a crazy amount of confidence going from that victory over Leinster. That was a hard-fought victory. They were up for it. They knew everything was on the line. Kind of secured their spot in the top 8. I think they have secured their spot in the top 8. So that's absolutely massive for them. But I'm going with Munster to get it over the line. They want to secure that top spot. Munster by 11 points in my opinion. And then the second judgment game, Judgment Day game. Cardiff versus Ospreys. I'm going with the upset victory. I'm going with Cardiff to get it over the line. They're playing at home. Home field advantage. Are they playing at home or are they playing at the Principality? I'm not even sure. But I'm going with Cardiff to get the victory, sneak over the line, end off a decent season for them. Better than probably most expected, in my opinion. So that's the official prediction. Just to run through it quickly once again. Going with Leinster to get one over Connacht. Glasgow to obviously win. Stormers to win. Edinburgh to sneak over the line. Scarlets to get the victory. Bulls to smash the Sharks. Munster to get a 11-point victory. And then Cardiff to scrape over the line on Judgment Day over the Ospreys. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.